So yesterday, I was working on my animation, and it was going pretty well. I had this idea, which I still think is a cool idea, although it didn't really work out. I had this cool idea where okay, so the background of my next animation, the background is going to be very, very just white. Like it's just going to be like a layer of just kind of like a gray whitish color, and it's for a very specific reason and theme. At least for this project that I'm working on. The other ones they were black because, or they were like darker gray because I was really bad at Blender and had no idea how to make an environment. Now I feel like I could make an environment, at least a simple one. But the reason why this one is white is for a very specific reason and a very specific theme that I'm going off of. But other than the background, I wanted to kind of spruce it up a little bit. I wanted to make the background a little bit more exciting for this animation and a little bit more dynamic. So what I was trying to do is I wanted to add some like puffs of like almost just like clouds of different colors into the background to try and bring out some color, make the contrast of different scenes look better, make the composition a little bit more interesting. And I spent maybe 2 hours messing around with creating the clouds, looking at tutorials on how to make objects in Blender that would look or resemble a cloud, and then also dealing with a lot of their settings to try and fit them to where I wanted them to be. And then I ended up facing a couple problems. First one is that the way that the clouds were made that I had going on wouldn't really work that well with how I'm actually trying to make my animations. So it didn't pair very well. I honestly, the particle simulator would have probably been a better idea. It's just that I don't really want to overuse that. But generally speaking, I spent about 2 hours fidgeting with it, figuring out that even the render, like trying to render just a still image of the clouds was so impractical, and I just decided to completely scrap it. Now that's happened, that was the second time this has happened in this project where I've done a pretty large amount of work and just scrapped it. And I think that's just kind of the creative process of almost any skill, any artistic skill at least, where where you're working on a project and then you kind of just have to scrap it because either the whole thing isn't that good or you want to redo it, or it's just like something goes wrong and you have to cut a whole piece of it out and then restart. And I think that's just part of the creative process. I think a lot of people go through that. And I want to say that it's not wasted because a lot of things happen for a reason. Like you won't realize that something doesn't feel right or something's not working because it just maybe it just shouldn't even be in the project at all. You realize these things as you're working on more and more projects throughout being an artist. But yeah, so I just want to say, if you feel like you've wasted time doing something and it doesn't work out and then you pivot, it's probably for the better of the project. And also, I don't think it's wasted time because you learn more things. You learn what not to do in the future. You learn what you can do in the future as far as alternatives and new things that maybe you like better. So I wanted to say that. So I was going to do a full intro. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. No, don't. I mean, you can if you want to. That'd be nice. But you don't have to. But please see me tomorrow on my video. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.